Hey guys, it's me, Ari, and this is Sweet Talk Sunday. First of all, it's Valentine's Day. Well, it's the day after Valentine's Day, but I'm still in the spirit. So I thought that this topic should be Valentine's Day related. So today's topic, as you can see by the title, is should I be embarrassed if I feel like I need a man? Because, okay, so a little backstory. Last week, I was having a conversation with one of my friends. We were talking about like if you want a man versus if you just need a man. I mean, if you need a man versus if you just want a man. And she was saying how she feels like she doesn't need a man, but she wants a man. She feels like it's laws put in place, it's protection put in place for women. She can provide for herself. Um, things like that. And honestly, I was telling her, like, I feel like I need a man. And not in a way of being desperate, not in a way of feeling like I'm codependent on a man, but more so in a way of like companionship, more so in a way of them adding value and just being an addition to my life. Because I was saying that, like, I have friends who I have like my best friends and even some of my close friends who I feel like I need them in my life. Like my family, like the family members that I'm close with, like I feel like I need them in my life. I feel like if I didn't have them in my life will not feel complete. My life will not feel, the same. I feel as though with these people in my life that I feel like I need, it's just like the necessary, the necessity in my life, and the people that I genuinely cherish and I genuinely love being around them. My day doesn't feel the same if I don't talk to them, or my week doesn't feel the same if I don't communicate with them. Um, and also in terms of a man, like if I want protection, if I want like that masculine protection, that masculine security, if I want, I'm just say first, like just like physical wise, like if I want that security and that like to feel safe and to feel protected by a man, I need a man for that. Like I understand that there are laws put in place. I understand that there are police around, but a policeman's not going to be walking around with me all the time, and security is not going to be walking around with me all the time. But in terms of a man, I feel like I need that. That's something from a man that I want. Also, providing for me. Like, yes, I can provide for myself. I definitely can. But I also don't want to always just provide for myself. Like, if I want a man to take care of me and buy me things, and, I need a man for that. I think that everybody's opinion is equal. I think if you feel like you don't need a man, you feel like you just want a man, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Everybody has an opinion. But, I'm just here to give my opinion. I'm just here to speak how I feel. I'm not here to bash anybody or anything like that. But yeah, and like I said, in terms of companionship, like I feel like I just want someone. Also, I feel like I need someone, a man who, like, I want to be feel like I need you in my life. Like you are someone that adds value to my life. You are someone that's an addition to my life. You are someone who I admire, and I just can't be without you. I can't live without you. Not like I said, not in a way of being desperate, not in a way of um feeling codependent, but just in a way of like, just as humans, we don't want to feel lonely, you know what I mean? And I feel like I don't see nothing wrong with that. I am 28. I've never been in like a long term relationship before. And lately I've been finding myself asking like a lot of questions, like just a lot of relationship based questions. Like what seems acceptable or what doesn't, or what do, like I would ask my friends or ask some of my friends that are in relationships, like what do they think about this, what do they think about that, um what they do this, what they do that, because I know the type of person that I am very strict. And also I want to say that when it comes to me feeling like I need a man, I'm also somebody who, like, I wasn't like this before, but now I'm definitely somebody who is like, look, if you do something wrong, if you do something that's a non-negotiable, you do something that is a red flag for me, I'm going to leave and I don't care and I'm not coming back. I do not give more than one chance now. I don't, because I don't have the patience, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time. I genuinely do not. So either act right or get left, and it's that simple. But I've just been asking different questions and different things like that. So it's not, like I said, like it's not that I'm codependent on a man. It's just more so of like I just feel like I need that. Also for me, it's been a while. I've been single. Like I haven't been talking to anybody for like over a year now, to be honest. I mean, I hung out with one guy once last year. Literally, only one guy I've hung out with once, and I wouldn't even consider that like really anything because I don't know, we just like hung out, like it wasn't anything like serious. So yeah, I've been single for about a year now, a little over a year now. Like single, like not talking to anybody. I've just been really focused, especially because I had to, move away for school and everything. I just haven't been focusing on that. But now I feel like I'm in the mindset today, just being transparent. A lot of times I would feel like I would self sabotage myself, and I would feel like I'm not ready, or I would just give myself an excuse to say that I'm not ready to date again, or I would talk down on myself, or I would compare myself. Um, Not in like a, like I was trying to explain to my friend the other day that like I think because I haven't been used to men in a while, meaning like I haven't been dating in a while. I haven't been like, I'm not looking for attention, but I haven't really like been around that male attention in a while, like consistently. That it's like let's say if I go to a party or something, like let's say if I go to like an event, like when I go, I feel like I'm that girl. Like that's how you should feel. Like I feel like I'm that girl. I feel confident. I feel amazing, great. But I just don't expect no one to come up to me. And at first, I thought it was in a way of like insecurity, but I'm realizing that it's just that I'm just not in the right places. Or actually, I shouldn't say I'm not in the right places because I do go to different stuff, but I'm just not in these places continuously to feel like, because most of the time when you go out, not like it's not gonna always be every single time that you step out the house, every single time that you go to something that a man is gonna just speak to you. You know what I mean? Like they might look, I might think that they might see you out again or might see you on social media, anything might be the case, but it's not always the case that they're gonna speak to you every single time you go, like single or not. Um, but yeah, so I feel like that's what I was definitely struggling with, like just kind of like I guess scaring myself or feeling like you wasn't ready, like you're not ready, and I had to remind myself that like there's never gonna be a perfect time. Like not even for anything. Like there's never gonna be a perfect time for anything because I could say, oh, this is gonna be the perfect time for me now, but God might be like, no, it's not. Like you're still not ready. Or I could say, I don't think I'm ready, but God is like, I'm gonna help you to be ready because this is the time that you need to be dating, or this is the time that you are gonna meet the person that you're meant to marry. So yeah, I just feel like that I was just self sabotaging myself and just putting myself down a lot and kind of like bullying myself, like making it seem like I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be, like no one should be speaking to me, like no one should be worrying about me. But like I said, there's never going to be that perfect moment because what about the times when I am in a full relationship, and if I'm saying things are not gonna be perfect, like I need to be doing this and this and this and this, I need to have this together, I need to have that together and that together, then I'm gonna more so be focusing on that or trying to be perfect when nobody is perfect, And it's like also like obviously there should be some things you should have together, like at least having like your life together somehow. Um but even with that, like sometimes things can pivot, like things can change. Like I might meet someone and they might introduce me to a whole nother career that I thought that I would never be interested in, but I am like that happens a lot. Or I could like I don't, or it just could be anything. Like they could introduce me to a new location. I'd be like, dang, I want to move her. Like like just little stuff like that could switch, and they can be an influence of your life changing. I believe in that. But I don't think that um I don't think that there's gonna be a perfect moment No, obviously it'll feel like perfect in the moment, but what I mean is like there's not gonna be a perfect moment for me where it's like, okay, I have everything together now, and now things are gonna change, and now I'm gonna meet somebody, and now, like, cause you just never know. It's like kind of like starting a new journey, or kind of like putting yourself out there, or just like changing up your routine. Like, it's never gonna be like a perfect moment to do anything. You just do it, and even with meeting somebody, like you're never going to be perfect meeting somebody, because there's always going to be a flaw. Because what about the times when I'm not feeling perfect? Like, I'm not feeling my best. Like, times where I feel like they say, like, my man might be feeling like, might be giving 60 that day, and I'm only giving 40, or he might be giving 80 and I'm only giving 20. Am I going to say, dang, I'm not meant to be in this relationship I, because I'm not giving enough? I don't know. I had to get myself out of that mindset. I just feel like everything has to be like so perfect in order to be in a relationship, because that's not the case at all. It's not the case. We all know, like as we say all the time, like social media definitely has an influence on how on relationships look now. Um, I feel like obviously like we all know, like back in the day, like we used to see relationships, um, like celebrity relationships, or well, back then it wasn't really like influencers, but like just like famous people, like like socialized, like just like famous people. Like we used to see the relationships, but we just never knew everything that they was going on, that they had going on, or they would only put out what their PR told them to put out, or just anything like that. Like it was never like everything was online, and we see this person buying this person that big, and buying this car, and buying and paying for this and doing that, and it's just like a lot of times we can have that expectation and then feel like, oh well, I don't even have this, so how am I gonna expect this, like and there is a borderline to that, because I do feel like a lot of times men, I mean women and even men as well, they want more than they have, meaning like they want certain things, but they don't even like, they want you to bring so much to the table, but they don't even bring anything to the table. You know what I mean? But it's just like it's just it's a boundary when it comes to that. Like, yes, we see everything online. Yes, we see this and this and this happening from someone else's relationship, but it doesn't mean that we have to have that. Like, and it doesn't mean that that's even how we want it to be done. Like, I feel like I'm just really in a time of, in an era, just being very curious about long-term relationships and things like that. This time we have a lot of like, I'm independent, I don't need a man for this, I don't need a man for that, I can do this, I can do that. And granted, we can, we have, we can, and we will. But like I said, I don't want to only be the one providing. I don't want to be the only one providing for me. That's not what I want. I don't want to be the only one protecting me. Definitely not. Um so yeah, and even before, like when I wanted children, like if I wanted children, like yes, there's other ways to have children, we know that, yes. But the way that I would prefer to have children, if I wanted children, I need a man for that, you know? So there are little things that I do need a man for. There are not little things. And I also feel like if a man is a prize, like if he is really just a great man, and he's doing everything he needs to do, his leading, his doing this, his God fearing, everything, then yes, I definitely need you in my life, because you don't come around often. This type of men do not come around often. You know what I mean? This type of men are not everywhere, and this type of men you don't always find everywhere. So yes, I need that. Hashtag need that. um, but yeah, that's just how I feel. So that's today's topic. Um, if I would like to know how other people feel. So if you feel like you need a man, let me know in the comments. Do you feel like you don't need a man? I don't need a man. I just want a man. put that in the comments too. I want to hear all perspectives because I'm open to hearing all perspectives. And above the story, it's obviously gonna be Ruth and Boaz. Everybody just loved the love story. Like, I think it was very intentional. Obviously, everything in the Bible was intentional, but this story specifically was just so intentional. Like, seeing the detail that God allowed to happen. Like, even with Ruth just moving with Naomi for a better life, for a different life, her just placing herself in doing right. There was a little bit of obstacles in terms of, like, you know, the family member that she could have potentially ended up marrying, but things didn't go that way because it was meant for her to marry Boaz. It was meant for her to be with him. It was meant for them to cross paths. So yes, I will catch you guys in the next episode next Sunday. Just remember, I am dropping every single Sunday and I'm holding myself accountable this whole year. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.